Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Roger H3, and today I'm going to cover the current issue with Quickplay in Overwatch 2. I'm going to assume by now pretty much everybody has an idea of what's going on with Quickplay right now, and everybody probably has their own stance and thoughts on what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into it and give you guys a different perspective and some ideas on how to potentially fix the current Quickplay issue. Also, if you guys are new or if you've been around and just haven't yet, please make sure you subscribe to the channel to help support me as we try to reach 300 subscribers in the next month. So to start, let's discuss why I think there is currently an issue with Quickplay in Overwatch 2. At a base level, I think the answer is simply as there's too many different types of people playing Quickplay who have different purposes of playing Quickplay. Now, one may ask, what exactly does this mean? Well, to start, I think a lot of people forget this, but Overwatch does have a barrier to entrance for ranked, and it's that you have to win 50 games of Quickplay to unlock rank. Now, realistically, this can be anywhere from 75 Quickplay games up to 200 or even more Quickplay games for some people. So this naturally alone will make Quickplay more competitive if you get stuck with people who are trying to get those wins, because obviously they want to do everything they can to win the game. Now, imagine you have somebody who's trying to get 50 Quickplay wins to unlock ranked, paired with somebody who's trying to learn a new hero and has almost no idea how to play them yet. Obviously, this is going to create a situation where you have half a team that is interested in trying to do anything they can to win, paired with others who are just trying to play for fun and learn a new character or a new concept. And this specific combination that I'm telling you isn't even the only combination that's possible, because there are other people who play Quickplay as well. There are people who have thousands of hours on Quickplay and refuse to play ranked. So Quickplay is their ranked. So essentially, Quickplay is just the accumulation of a bunch of different people with a bunch of different purposes. You have some people who are playing for fun, some people who just want to get in a quick game and don't have time to play a full comp game. You have some people who are trying to get their 50 wins, and then you also have people who only play Quickplay, so they take it as seriously as some people would take comp. Now, this raises the question of how do we make Quickplay a mode that makes sense and that everybody's able to play and get their own enjoyment and fulfill their own purpose that they're looking for? Well, I have a proposition that I think there needs to be a third game mode that's made. Now, in my opinion, I don't think we're ever going to 100% fix the issues we see with Quickplay, because Quickplay, as I mentioned, is just accumulation of a bunch of people with a bunch of different purposes. However, I do think introducing a third game mode would hopefully and potentially improve the all-around Quickplay experience, and then give people another game mode where they can potentially get their wins or have a little bit more of a competitive interaction where Quickplay can be a little bit more casual and a little bit more laid back. And I think the perfect way to approach this situation is to approach it the same way that Valorant does. Valorant pretty much has three primary game modes, if you think about it, at least in my opinion. You have competitive, which is obviously your normal ranked mode, but then you also have unrated and swift play. So essentially you have one game mode that is almost the same as competitive, it's the same length as competitive, however it's not ranked. And then you have a quick play mode that's a little bit shorter, has less rounds, and would theoretically be taken less seriously than maybe your quote-unquote unranked game mode and your competitive game modes. So essentially my proposition is we keep quick play, which is a more casual place where people can play and learn new characters. We add in unranked, or whatever we would want to call it, and essentially this would be the same as competitive, but you're not playing for a rank, and this would essentially be like a full match that people could play and get the same look and perspective as a competitive game. And then we would have competitive as well, which would be as is, which is the regular competitive game mode. Now, in terms of the progression of unlocking competitive for people who need those 50 wins, I think a workaround for that as well is maybe force somebody to get 10 wins in quick play to start, and then you have that lower boundary of entrance to play unranked, and then you could play unranked for the next 40. However, obviously the unranked games would be longer than the quick play games, so maybe you make a win worth 2 or 3 points depending on how much you win by. Maybe if you win by a significant amount, you get 3 points for that win. Maybe if you barely win, you get 2 points. In addition to this idea, it would make it easier for people who already know how to play Overwatch or are naturally better at games to unlock competitive a little bit quicker. And in addition, this would give people a way to practice playing Overwatch with competitive settings without having to scrim in a private match. So you could play with tanks that have full health, as you would see in competitive, rather than their reduced health like you would see in quick play. Now, as I said before, I don't think there's a way to 100% fix our current quick play issue, but I think this would definitely be a step in the right direction for Blizzard and Overwatch 2 to add in a third game mode. I just think it makes sense at this point. And additionally, I'm not going to dive too much into it, but in terms of lever penalties, I would say we leave lever penalties on for unranked and comp, as you would expect for comp specifically, but unranked because it's very similar. And then we turn off those penalties on quick play because sometimes people don't have the time to play a full quick play game. I know that's kind of controversial, and I know a lot of people are saying if they have a really bad team, they'd rather people just leave and have a chance to get a good team that can even compete with the other one. I know that's kind of a whole nother discussion. I'm not going to get too far into that, but that's my opinion on that as well. Now, with all that being said, I'd love to hear what you all think. If you think adding a third game mode would potentially fix the current issues we're seeing, or even if you believe that there is no issue with quick play right now. Drop in the comments what your opinions are, if you think my ideas make sense and they would be a good solution. And make sure you drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the content. Also, if you made it this far, I really hope you subscribed, but if not, remember to subscribe as well, and we will catch you all later. Have a great day, evening, week, and yeah, we'll see you.